Demo scene. I haven't done this in a bit. Is this thing on? Oh, I'm so tired. Water. Okay, let's see. Kansas Eagle is here. That's my buddy Tim. Surfer John is here, checking in from Southern Cal. Thanks for joining. Trying to get things sorted here. Looks like Jeff is here. I literally just got back from DC. Well, I took the long way, but I just got back from DC. My buddy Woody's here. Was just hanging out with him like yesterday. Carlos here. Was also talking to Carlos recently at the show. Very cool. James Duffy, thanks for joining. My throat's a little rough. Todd's here. Thanks for joining. I haven't been in the studio in a while. I have a little heater going. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'll shut it off in a moment, but it was a little chilly down here. Oh, man. Brutal. Super fun weekend. Can't go to one of these watch shows and think you're going to relax. That is for sure. Bean Boy was there. He'll fill you in on any questions you may or may not have. YZ80 was there too. Was hanging out with all my guys in DC. Just crushing it nonstop. Action. Did we go to the watch show? Yeah, we went to the watch show. We did go to the watch show. But we did not spend a ton of time at the watch show. We did a lot of other things. Very cool. Fedora Gents here. Thanks for joining us, John. Greetings from Bay Area. Eric is here. Wow, throat is here. I don't know if I'll be able to pull off a whole hour live stream, so we'll see what we can do. Glad you had a lot of fun in DC. Yeah, we crushed DC. DC was awesome. Such a good time. Very, very fun time. Nonstop. Like I said, Larry C. didn't make it. I was hoping to see Larry, but he's in the live stream, so that's cool. Yeah, the show was awesome. All the extra stuff we did, Larry, was awesome. That was really cool, too. So hopefully maybe next year you can make it. We'll see. Actually, Fedora Gent, funny enough, he just mentioned that he even walked away with a watch from DC District Time Watch Show with a watch. And he wasn't even there. So Todd says, I have not paid for a watch this year. Doesn't mean he didn't get a watch. I think there's a loophole there, but I don't know if that's true either. But he didn't pay for one. 4 o'clock Crown. Awesome to see you again. Hanging out. And thanks for, right here, I have some more challenge coins. So, awesome to meet up with everybody and doing well. I got that one from 4 o'clock. I got this one from my buddy Philip. I'm showing them quick. You may or may not see him in the background. I got this one, freaking awesome Scorpion one from my buddy Josh. And then I swapped. I have a Marathon coin. It's actually pretty cool. It's loomed on both sides. But I talked to the Marathon guys a little bit there. That was pretty cool. So Todd is saying no watches yet either, actually. Interesting. I'm sure you will change that at some point. I mean, what are we in? We're still kind of early March. Well, it's not really early. We're past the first week of March. Yeah, anything on the horizon, Todd? Are you expecting a watch in your future? That fan sounds like the overhead projector from school. I'll shut it off right now. I had to warm it up just a little bit, but that's exactly what it sounds like, John. You're right. That's exactly what that fan sounds like. Okay, so that's why you said it that way, because we paid for them before and we're still waiting on them. That makes sense. I need to touch base with them. And I know there was like the Chinese New Year, that probably affected some parts or something. I don't know if that really affected Christopher Ward's supply chain. I'm sure it does a little bit, but there's some other watches in the work for sure, and that affected it. So I know, like I talked to, I gotta be careful what I say. There's certain things I can't say. I talked to a lot of people at the show, and there's a lot of things coming up. So I can say that. That's all I can say. Had mugs made for the show. Gave them away. Everybody liked them. Hopefully everybody that went to the show grabbed one. If you didn't, then better luck next time. Like the hockey coach on Happy Gilmore. Oh, man. Need to wake up a little bit. I need a new calico mug. John will talk about that. We got to be very careful about that. Floridian says, hello from Cleveland. I just drove by Cleveland. Randy, we could have hooked up. That was awesome. You got to let me know the Floridian that is almost never in Florida. I need like a tracking device on him. I need to find out where he's at. Because odds are I'll probably drive right by and I don't even know you're there. I literally stayed last night. Oh, you just got there. Okay. I was just outside Cleveland last night. So, that's cool. Yeah, that's a heck of a drive. So I broke it up. All right. What are we at here? Show recap. We can do... What can we do? I think we have a bunch of pictures. We got a bunch of pictures. There's only 30 people in the live right now. Most of you guys are like the regulars. So I think I can do this. The live streams don't get a ton of views afterwards. So this is just for us. This is just like a little private meeting. I could have just did a Discord live, actually. But this is, hopefully you can see it all. Oh, you go to California all the time too. Well, I'm thinking about going to intersect Long Beach. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to go. I'm not pretty sure. I'm like 78% sure I'm not going to San Francisco windup. 83%. But I'm all like 52% sure I'm going to go to Long Beach intersect. We'll see. We got to figure it out. But I also have some other things in the work as well. So here is the thread for the District Time watch show, which low-key basically was a Random Rod meetup. So if we... that's AI. That's not real. Don't believe anything you see on the internet. But if we scroll up, we do have some pictures. So let's go up to where there's some decent, maybe normal pictures. Maybe I shouldn't show everything. But there is some watch pictures. So let's try to find the watch pictures. How about that? Let's focus on the watch pictures. And I'll skip past some of the other stuff. It started actually with Friday, even before the show. There was a pre-show over at Zal Baltimore. Let's see if we can get to those, because that was back a ways. If you ever wonder how busy the show gets, it gets real busy. It's packed. It gets packed. So that's why you want that VIP. You want that early access. Is there... There's wrist shots. Okay, this is the Baltimore. So here's... Even that was packed. Well, it wasn't packed. It was just busy. It was just busy. But there was other brands there. It was actually really cool. So here's like a wrist shot. We got Tudor, Okanasker, Christopher Ward, Zal Baltimore, which would have been an appropriate watch to wear at a Zal Baltimore meetup, and of course a Notice. This is where it was at. I'm just kidding. That's not where it is. But we definitely drove by this. That's what certain parts of Baltimore looks like. You'll definitely question yourself. You don't have to go this route, but we just did for some reason. I'm not sure. Okay, so back to the watches. So there's the Old Bay. What is this? Oh, this is the Key Bridge, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, that turned out really good. Now keep in mind that case, and I think the dial, there's a lot of components of this watch that are actually made in the USA. Yeah, Paul, all the Texas brands were there too, so that's really cool. Let's see here. Another wrist shot. Another wrist shot. Some miscellaneous pictures. I want to just show the watch pictures. So Mark showed this. Sheffield. Sheffield was there, which it was really cool to see. First time, I don't know if it was the first show they've ever done. Probably not, but it was the first show that I've ever seen them at, Sheffield. And I talked to the owner briefly. I didn't go back and talk to him. I wasn't really soliciting, the channel at the show to the brand owners. So the Weiss was there with their hot dog in the bun hour hand. But they have that's a full carbon case. That's really cool. What do we got here? Some other stainless steel watches from the brand, and then the carbon ones. That orange with the black looks good. These are taken from Mark took these pictures. Tessie watches. They do some pretty incredible dials. There was actually quite a few brands there that were doing some pretty insane looking dials. Some of them like handcrafted, very well done. Keep scrolling over there. Mark gave us some good pictures here. What do we got? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Sunrex? Surex? What does that say? Sunrex? What is that? Is that a person that spins around on that? There were some interesting watches there for sure. Let's see here. And then Canopy was there. I got to talk to Mac from Canopy a little bit. It was good to see him. He had pretty much all of his watches there. Which is only 2 models, but a bunch of different colorways. Stella was there. Said hi to those guys. Thanks, Mark, for getting all these pictures. I did have some unpaid interns there. None of them performed for me. So the unofficial unpaid interns did perform for me. Mark putting in the work, even though he didn't know he was an unpaid intern. Future, real quick, I want to mention, see this watch right here? This is the Jack Mason Pro, whatever it's called. I'm gonna buy one of these. I'm gonna buy this. I'll explain why in a moment. Here's some more Jack Masons. The Real Sugar. I brought that Real Sugar one, and then I loaned it to my buddy Jeff. He lives kind of in the area, so he's borrowing it right now, spending some time with it, making sure that he wants to pick one up. This one, kind of like American colorway. Thanks, Paul. It's the Pursuit Pro. Red, white, and blue on that Strata timer, really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up the Pursuit Pro because I'm gonna show you another watch that I bought. If anyone took a picture of it, because I did not. Oh, so here's the show, and this had to have been. There's my buddy G Woody right there. I think that's Will. There's Will right there. Oh, you probably can't see it. My cursor doesn't point, does it? Yeah, it does. It's right there. You can see it. There's my buddy Ryan. There's Jake. I don't know if you can see anybody else that I would point out. But this might have been during the VIP hour. Because this is not... The show is way busier than this typically. So Wera didn't go Sunday. Okay, here we go. Bean Boy posted a bunch of pictures. This watch, it's smudged up, so it's kind of sucks to see, but this is a Mount West. And the bezel, it's super smudgy, but this one, shoot, I forget how it goes. So if you spin this one, let me think here. Counterclockwise, it spins both. And then, no, I'm doing it backwards. I forget which way it spins. Anyway, they spin independently of one another, but it spins both when you spin the outer one, and then when you spin the other way, it just spins the outside one. I think that's what it does. Yeah, they're counter-rotating. Thanks, Chris. Not only that, One's like 120 and the other one's a 60 click. So they're both tactile differently in different directions, and they sound different. So even if you don't use the bezels for their intended purpose, it's a very nice fidget spinner. It's one of the best fidget spinners that you can put on your wrist, if you're so inclined to do so. Line up the pips and you can track minutes in hours. Okay. So this is one of the brands that was doing some pretty awake. I didn't get a chance to really check these guys out, but they were doing some crazy, crazy dials. Beautiful dials. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, and it's back. Okay. What else? Dryden was there. Dufresne was there. That's a really good picture, Billy. Good job on that one. That's a crisp picture. Draken was there. Full lineup. It was pretty cool. Of course, Islander was there. Mark, Ryan, and the crew. Incredible watches. They're such a great value. The only, I think, other watch brand there that was selling watches at such an affordable price point would have been Sheffield. But if I'm honest, the Sheffield watches aren't quite as nice as the Islanders. They're close. They're getting up there. You know, they're pretty good. But like the Islanders are a little bit better as far as like perceived quality when you handle them. But they have different designs and stuff like that. So like it depends on what you're really looking for. Now there were some of the, I don't know what you call them, the garage sale, barn sale ones or whatever. And I know Jeff, my buddy Jeff, he showed me one of the Islanders. I think he picked it up for $50. So if you get to one of these shows and Islander watches there, go over there as soon as you can and rummage through their like returns or whatever they were, seconds or something like that, because they're insane deals. Insane deals. This one's really cool too. Andy Digi, new model they just put out not that long ago. I was talking to Greg about it, and he pointed out he doesn't like the fact that there's no seconds hand, and I honestly didn't even really notice it. Garage sale, Tim says, thank you. I don't think I need a seconds hand if I have the digital timer running. So if that's counting the seconds, which I'm assuming it does, then I should be fine. I don't always need a seconds hand, so it looks good. That model looks cool, kind of like the Flighty, but in different colorways. And then the titanium one, I think they're doing their last hurrah with the free bracelets. After those are gone, it'll be over. There happened to be a Ferrari parked outside. That was pretty cool. We have more Bean Boy shots. We got, I didn't see that one from Islander. That one's pretty cool. Unique. There's a fun colorway of that titanium diver. Has like seashells or whatever you want to call them on the dial, kind of like embossed or pressed in. Really cool colorway. That is the Zal Baltimore GMT. Is that called the Torsk or something like that? Woody says the LED is not backlit, just oy vey. Here we go. Woody, bring in he doesn't like the watch. Get off my lawn. It's okay. Woody doesn't like it. I'm probably not going to buy one either, but I'm not going to dog on it. Torsk? Thank you. Yeah, tusk, like a elephant tusk. It's the Torsk. That's right. It's the submarine that's in the Baltimore Harbor. I remember now. Some super thin Christopher Wards, insanely thin. That one's the black one all the way to the right is the full ceramic, if I'm not mistaken. So again, this picture is both blurry, but also not a very good representation of how busy it is. Now, what you will notice, not notice watch, but notice. No, Ryan pointed it out to me. It doesn't matter to me. So Ryan, I'll text Ryan. Thanks, Greg. I'll deflect and I will attack Ryan. Hold on a second. I gotta show you this one. YZ80 pointed out there's a lot of things in the Baltimore Harbor. Yes, there's a lot of things in the Baltimore Harbor, both that you can see kind of like just lingering on the surface, but also probably way more things below the surface. So yes, exactly. This is what Bean Boy actually shows in this picture, is, and I noticed it too when I was over, I forget what brand I was talking to, but I was over talking to them, and I got distracted and I seen it out of my peripheral vision. If you look in this back glass over here, this is the line. So, and it's hard to get a true perspective if you weren't there, but this is a big event space, and this is on the corner of, I forget the name of the roads, like K and 13th or so, whatever it is, something like that. And the entrance is far to the left, so it goes all the way to the entrance, all the way to the front of the building, and then it makes a turn and goes all the way down, part way down the block on the other side. So, yeah, it was lined up with people waiting. So, and Bill and Lauren, the event organizers, did a great job. I'm looking forward to talking to them again soon about some stuff. But they both put in the time, put in the work, did the ticket system. So you would just scan it on your phone. You'd have the QR code or whatever for your ticket, and then you would just scan it. They'd get you in, whether it's a VIP ticket or general admission. So it was a really good way to just kind of control it. So now you can kind of see, like, this would be, Billy did a good job actually with this one. So the first picture would be, you know, the corner, and then this one would be the next pan over. So now you have Draken and Heinrich, and then Islander, and then Hemmel, I think, and then there's another brand around, and then the entrance would be over there. But you can still see people just lined up. It's pretty wild. Yeah, this is a good job. So yeah, in the front here, I think was Trafford, I think, right? Yeah, and then Jack Mason, and then Dryden was over there. On the back side was Mac. That's Mac over here with Canopy, and then yeah, it was a pack show. Bunch of great brands. But this is a good representation of why you want the VIP. See how almost anywhere in the venue, you can literally walk up to the table. Yeah, I'll get to your shot, Greg. Thank you. This is why you want the VIP. So you want to go early. You want to purchase the VIP, and don't be a cheapskate, because it's like getting the fast pass at the amusement park and get in front of the line. This way it gets you access to the brands that you really want to see, including Ward. There was like a amusement ride line that snaked to get to the Ward one. There was moments where you could get in there pretty quick, but the VIP, you pretty much could get right up there. It was like a fast pass. All the other brands, you know, for the most part, you could get up there to their booth and talk to them in the VIP. But once the general admission came in, you're fighting for that space. Everyone's polite, everyone gets along, and you will get your turn. You just have to wait longer, so the whole show takes longer. Yes, exactly. Like YZ said, I went right, because he got in for the VIP. He went in when I did. Went right to the Ward and got to talk to Michael Pearson and thank him for the C65, which I know, Chris, you were wearing at the time. So very cool, very cool. I mean, yeah, that's Christopher Ward back here, right? That's Christopher Ward right here. Look at, there's no line. See all these poles and this strap or whatever you call it, and this security guy? That's to manage the line for Christopher Ward. Think about that. And this isn't even like, sometimes when Christopher Ward does like Wind Up or something like that, or some other shows, they'll have like a huge, like multiple tables and way bigger booth and way more watches and way more employees working the booth. This was a smaller setup for them on that one. I think there was one more picture. Yeah, here you go. There's Mac, Canopy, Circula, Marathon was right there. And then, yeah, it keeps going around the corner. So that's the owner of Axial Watch. Okay, so let me scroll. Let's see what Duggar posted up. Duggar technically was, no, he was not my unpaid intern. But Duggar hung out with us, went to karaoke, and went out to eat afterwards and stuff like that. We had a great time. If I remember right, he actually bought this watch. I think Duggar bought this watch, which is a watch that I was obsessing about, because at the time I had a car that was similar to that color. So I almost bought that. Instead, I bought the white dial one. I still have it. So I love Formex. And I'm pretty sure Duggar bought this watch too. Almost pretty much everybody I went with bought 1 or 2 or 10 watches. But yeah, he picked up this one from Jacob at Swiss Watch Company USA. In the background right there, you can see That orange dial watch right there, that's a Random Rob limited edition Swiss watch company USA, and that sold as well. There is the Notice Duality. Notice was there. Wes and Cullen wasn't there, but they had good brand representation there. Christopher Ward with the SH21 skeleton dial. That's really cool. The bronze in the larger size. Axia. They had like all the different colleges and everything like that. Let's see. James says sometimes I have to manage lines at comic book conventions. I am a professional nerd wrangler. Yeah, that's as long as everybody's cool and everyone does, follows somewhat of a system here, then it's usually not that big of a deal. So more watches. Let's just show the watches. So 4 o'clock crown posted up. Thankfully, Daniel got some pictures of watches. I didn't even get a chance to look at this one. So Circula's got pretty cool looking watch out. This is the new Dryden, what is it called? The Chrono Diver, right? I think that's what it's called. Nate Dogg's here. Thanks for joining. Some fun colorways with this one, and the case profile is a little bit different. Nice bracelet and everything like that. Super affordable still, so very good watch to look at for sure. Fortis, also a very good looking watch. Also costs a lot more than the Dryden, but it is automatic, so it should. And the Fortis Flieger F39, they've done some different colorways of that. The Jack Mason, the lineup is incredible right now. I think it's pretty solid. I think it's a solid brand. They're doing some really cool stuff. Oh, Trosco was there, and their entire lineup looks amazing as well. They've always brought some of the best value to the watch microbrand segment of watches for sure, and they have some really fun colors. No mint color currently right now. No mint color right now. So I think the owner was concerned that he was going to get known for that color. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think it can be kind of like your unofficial corporate color. I think you should definitely do some more mint dial colors. Wise was there, obviously. I didn't even get a chance to check them out that much. Some more Notice and the Circular. Okay, let's find some more watches. Josh Carter picked up. I meant to pick up one of these. I need to reach out to Alan. He did a watch roll in that fabric. If you're not aware, that's the Baltimore flag motif. That's what it looks like. He picked up. It's funny that he has that with that. So he picked up that case from Zal Baltimore. He picked up the Jack Mason GMT titanium, and then he also picked up Sheffield. So very cool. And there was karaoke. Yes, we're gonna scroll past that. There was karaoke. There was a massive wrist shot at the end of that. Yeah, somewhere. Were we out on the street? I don't remember where we were at. It was dark. And that was Joe being silly. Okay, more watches. Here we go. Jeff picked just showing pictures. Yeah, Paul says Jack Mason is coming out with more awesome watches, amazing watches. Yes, I talked to Peter about that a little bit. And again, I didn't look at this brand too much. I glanced over it. I need to build the video. I took a bunch of content. I need to put it together, and I'll post it up soon. But Micro Mil Spec, very cool looking watches. That's the one that caught my eye. I definitely wanted to see that one. I didn't get a chance to really check it out, but that's a cool looking one. There's a Sheffield. Somebody bought that, I think. I don't remember who. And then a custom mod build. Another Sheffield fun watch. I'm not even going to pronounce that brand, but they have a Ferrari, so whatever, they're cool. And then we're scrolling back through. Some Jack Masons. That one's just so like classic, iconic looking for sure. Oh, it's the Maryland state flag. Baltimore, Maryland, same thing, whatever. I'd say correct me when I'm wrong, but you guys just correct me all the time. So sometimes you just got to go for a swing ride. There's Fortis, there's Hemel. Some Zal Baltimore, but Maryland flag watches, purple. Yeah, Daniel, the new Troska chronograph is amazing. I talked to him. I'm hoping he'll send me one for video. That is what I'm going to solicit from him. But Bernhardt Diver, I did the video on this one. Very cool watch indeed. See, check out these dials though. Look at these dials. What brand is this? I can't read it. Blah, 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 Freedom, something. And then this dial, look at that. Very ornate, very cool. What is this? I don't know. That's carbon bracelet and case and everything. Carbon everything. Weird G. I don't know what that one is. Trafford's doing some pretty cool dial. There was a lot of different fun dials at the show for sure. Tennessee Mike is joining me. He says, hello, notification did not pop up. Sorry, that's fine. Oh, it was core. Thank you. Clinton, thank you. I didn't even look at the cores. They were all the way in the back. I remember that. Yeah, look at those. Those are fun. Fun looking dials. Let's see. Formex, of course. Some more shenanigans. Don't worry about it. Here we go. We have some more watches. Where were these guys at? I didn't even see them there. This watch, it was pretty interesting. And I don't know, I forget the brand name, but this is a GMT, but it's done with 30-minute and 45 minutes. So you can see here it has the 0, the 0.5, and the 0.75. And if I remember right, and I don't, so this is your hour hand and this is your minute hand. But the way it's configured, I don't remember. I freaking forget. He explained it to me and I already forgot. But it's mostly to track, like, there's places that don't operate on just the hour separation for, like, timekeeping. Some of them are half-hour separation and 45-minute separation. So he did it because I think he's of Indian descent. And India is one of them that is separated by, like, 45 minutes or something like that. So this one tracks it because you have these 3 points. And one would be, like, your hour hand. And then the separation would be, you know, if you go all the way across, it would be the half-hour separation. And then if you go to the middle, then it would be your 45-minute. So, if that makes sense. Because I probably didn't explain it very well. But it's basically that. So, Bernhardt, Dorenzo was there. Freaking awesome watches from Dorenzo. Sergio is one of the best watch designers out there. He does, the attention to detail he does is just amazing. Venezianico is there, and they always do some pretty amazing stuff. That one's really cool with the dial. Tipsum was there. This one's fun. It's just fun. All white on white with a quad style seconds hand using some primary colors. So it's just fun. And then a more traditional layout there. Let's see. Let's take a Baltic was there. They have a bunch of different colors. Echo Neutral was there. Again, really fun, cool, vintage, but still colory. Very cool. That's a great model from them. Hand wind though. And like I said, I do have video of all this stuff. Some people had to take a nap. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Wise, Forge, Carbon, Woody also seemed like he was impressed with them. So he took some pictures. There we go. Fits good, looks good. It's a hot dog in a bun. Let's see here. Another wrist shot. What else is going on here? Some Guinness. I forgot to have a Guinness with my buddy Will again. Dang it. I forgot to have a Guinness, period. Does Jack Mason use a micro adjust clasp? Yes. Yes, they do. A pretty darn good one, too. And I would show you right now, Todd, but I loaned my watch to Jeff. Let's see here. Was there any more watches? Pins? That was at the Zal Baltimore meetup. That's my buddy Calico with Mark from Islander Watch. And all right, here's those pictures Woody was talking about. Because Woody, Stayed there Sunday. I visited the show Sunday real quick and then bounced, but this is up in a little VIP area that you don't really have access to. There's security, but certain people can go up there. Woody had a full access pass. This is because of people he knows. Not you can't buy the pass. You have to like be like working there, kind of. But this is a nice overhead view. But it only shows not half of it, but because there's like a wall here and it cuts back in, and then there's more over there, like where the entrance. But this is like the main space area, if that makes sense. Wood was going into restricted areas for sure, for most people. For like, I don't know what you call it. He was there as like almost like a brand employee or something. Oh, there's my buddy Jeff right there talking to. Oh, that's me. That was me and Jeff talking to Peter. Woody was being sneaky and snapped a picture. Yeah, we were just hanging out talking to Peter. Blah, blah, blah. And Peter's like, that's cool. My brand's awesome. You should buy my watch. And Jeff was like, I already have one on my wrist right now, but it's not mine. It's Rob's. And you can see that it's not on his wrist because I took it off. I have no watch on my wrist. It's my Christopher Ward laying right there because I was playing around with that because I'm going to buy it. Okay. Anyway, enough ad-libbing. Here's another good picture of the show and the importance of getting VIP access because it kind of looks dirty right there, but it's just an old wood floor. It's a great venue. Oh, it's not wood. It's concrete. Whatever. It looks like wood because of the stripes. Don't mind me. I'm tired. 5280 watch was there. They have some incredible dials, some fun stuff that mount. It doesn't matter where people are at. I don't know why I'm focusing on that. What you should be getting from these pictures is, that's Joe and Pamela right there. Those are my good friends. They're in that picture. Is that you want to go on the VIP. You want to go early and then stay up late and go look at the Washington Monument lit up because that is in our nation's capital and you should go look at all of it because it's, quote, free. It's not free. We paid for it, people. Stop saying it's free. We paid a shit ton in taxes. Nothing is free. They are wasting all of our money there, and you should go enjoy it once in a while because they waste all of our money, and we actively support that. But anyway, when we went to this rooftop bar thing, check this out. That's the White House right there, and you can go up there and check that out. You didn't have to get a drink, but you feel bad not getting one. Turns out mixed drinks up there to look at the White House and a bird's eye view of Washington, D.C. costs $60 per drink. 60. I bought a margarita and an old fashioned. It cost me $120. Worth it. All right, let's see. No one puts rules on Woody. That's right. Paul says, what are they selling watches and where there any? What are they saying? Paul, get some sleep. Your sentence. Oh, maybe I need sleep. Maybe your sentence does make sense and I can't read. Yes, most of the brands were selling watches. And yes, most of the brands offered some sort of discount or swag or something. That's me and Carlos right there, hanging out, talking, having a good time. You got to be there, though. You got to be there to take advantage of the opportunity. What was Greg and I doing here? This was at the Zal Baltimore meetup. Yes, it was. This is me and my buddy Greg. And this was in Baltimore, which once you were at this facility, you had a good time. But getting there, you were worried for your life and safety. And this place is way bigger than it looks in this picture. It is massive. That's us walking somewhere to do something. Okay, let's go back to just talking, and I'm tired. And I haven't even made it an hour yet. Okay. Good value. Okay, let's look at comments here. Can you guys read that? What are they selling watches and where they offer discounts? What are they selling? I'm reading that correctly. Paul, we need to reassemble some words here. Yes, most brands brought watches. They were selling watches and straps and some other things. Like I got a coin and some pins. And some people got free mugs with the cherry blossoms and the capital on it. And yeah, there was discounts. I bought. I'm not gonna. I gotta be careful what I say. I can't say. I'm gonna show you what I bought though. But I gotta be careful what I say about how I bought it. Chris, Tuffer, Ward. Were they selling watches? Yes. And were there discounts? Yes. Thank you, Chris, for speaking Paul. Okay. Late, but I made it. Will, I was already talking to you, and I pointed you out in the thing. I'm tired. I need an unpaid intern here. All right, let's go. Let's go this mode. But I don't want to share that screen. I want to share a different screen. So stop sharing, and then share screen, but a different screen, because I don't know what I'm doing. But I also don't want that view. I want that view. We're gonna go to watches. And we're going to go to, why is hidden gems a tab? What is a hidden gem? These are watches that Christopher Ward considers hidden gems. I may disagree with them on that, but that's okay. Somebody had to write something clever on there. Okay. Adventure and Field? Yes. Adventure and Field. I bought an Adventure in a watch. I want to change color in strap. I want to change it to this color, which they call khaki. That is not khaki. I just noticed that Christopher Ward thinks khaki is a pale green. Is that khaki, guys? Is that khaki? Or is that like a light, like a sage green? That's drab. Dr. Bob's Nightmare says it's drab. No, more like putty green, says Chrono, not khaki. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to necessarily identify the color. I just want to identify the fact that it is not khaki. So we can all agree that it is not khaki. Okay. So I bought it looks kind of grayish in the picture, but it's definitely, do I have a picture of this thing? I don't think I took a picture of it. It looks different in person. A lot of these pictures that you go to on websites, that's a good looking watch. But anyway, Greg's texting me. Greg, don't text me while I'm on the live. What am I going to do with that? That looks more like the right color, but that even looks kind of... You know what we're going to call it? We're going to call it Anvil. And that's, that's an inside joke. It's Anvil. Anvil. If they can call it khaki, I can call it Anvil. That's what color it is. But it has loom blocks, which is really cool. Is that a non-light catcher case? It is... That is a good question, Nate. I don't think it's a light catcher case. I mean, it's kind of. It's got the angles and stuff. It's kind of, but it isn't. But it's definitely Anvil. We've established that. So I have one of those on the way. They don't have them, and who knows when I'll get it. Probably April. What are we in? We're in March. Oh, that's next month. That's not that long. I'll have it like next month. That's not a big deal. Sammy says, I'm late. What did I miss? Sammy, what color is that? What color is this watch? Don't look at the description. Sammy, what color is that? Oh, Jeff, light catcher was a case design that they called. It's basically like, I think mostly on their divers. And so, well, they use it on a bunch of stuff. 70s doctor who was the best doctor. Anvil. Good evening. I lost track of. Hey, there's Josh Carter. He was there. Did you go to Teddy's? No, I rolled in at like 10 p.m. So, greenish gray. There you go. Anvil. Sammy confirms it. That color is Anvil. But Sammy, you will agree, just like everybody else, that that color would not be classified as khaki, because you said it's greenish gray, and that is clearly not the color that khaki is. Woody says the Pan Am has the light catcher case, so I think this one's a little bit different. It's a dark past. It's Anvil. I don't want to keep it. Sorry, work called. I'm back. We paused it. I seen you went away, John, so I just paused it. We stopped the live and waited for you to come back. Anyway, I have one of these coming, but let me tell you why I have one of these coming, because I am not very good at what I'm doing. Okay, Jack Mason. I love that one of his classifications is true. Somebody else posted up in my Discord about this. Is born and raised founder release program. Learn more. We're going to learn more later by talking directly to Peter and making sure that I'm part of the born and raised program. I am definitely. You don't have to explain it to me. I'm in. I'm an easy sell. I'm in. We are going to look at the Pursuit Pro and this one. Now, this is definitely not khaki, although the strap is. The strap is definitely a khaki color, which is not the same as Anvil or green. But I'm going to buy one of these because I really like the watch. I think I actually like it a little bit more than the Christopher Ward, if I'm completely honest. But I want to have both of them, and I'm going to do a comparison video. So I'm going to have the Jack Mason. I'm going to buy it with money I don't have, same way I bought the Christopher Ward. And I'm going to do a comparison video, and I didn't even ask either brand to send me the watch unsolicited. So I'm just going to buy them with my own money I don't have and do a video, and I'll probably get 500 views with it and make 10 cents, and I will have spent way too much money. So Will said he called dibs on the Christopher Ward, so we'll see who calls dibs on this. We'll see. Or I might like them really a lot, both of them, and keep both of them and sell, organ parts or something. I don't know. That's definitely not a light catcher case, but is it a Jack Mason, so it doesn't matter. It's really cool. I really dig this watch as well, Chris. I dig this watch so much that I'm going to purchase it with my own money, Random Rob's money. It's not my money. Get a split personality because that helps justify manic behavior. This one's really cool. I think I like the darker green on it. I do like the Anvil color of the Ward. I think that's a fun color as well. This one has a fun clicky bezel and stuff. So hold on. We have some official incoming information from my number one admin. Not number one troll killer, but number one admin. From AI Search, a muted gray green, often described as khaki, green or subdued olive forest green in similar Christopher Ward models. Okay. That doesn't really answer anything. Actually, it proves the fact that it is actually Anvil and not khaki, because just because somebody describes something as one thing, even though it's factually not that thing, does not make it that thing. You guys all know what I'm talking about here. Watch colors. Anvil is not khaki. Daniel says, it looks like a reworked Erebus. I have not seen an Erebus like this, but maybe I should go look because I could do a three-way comparison. Like the watch, don't like the strap. The strap, I think, would grow to be more comfortable on wrist. I had to be careful with my words because if I would have said it a different way and paused, it would have been a pause. So I think it would look good on a strap per se. Steve says, I call Gibbs, aka Dibs, on the Jack Mason. Been thinking about buying it. If I keep either of them, I suspect it's going to be the Jack Mason, but I got to be careful with entering into that mindset because then I'm already entering into the comparison with a bias, and I don't want to do that. I want to give them both a fair shot. I'm gonna do a little bit more of a stronger comparison with these. I'm gonna put them both on. I'm going to tie my shoes like in this picture and see how they perform. I'm going to do a loom test. I'm going to put my hand in my pocket like this picture and see how it looks. I might set the watch down on some rocks and some dirt and see how it looks. You know, I might just hold it in my hands and stare at it. But the one thing I definitely have to do is compare the loom. And I'm very curious to see how the Jack Mason performs against the loom blocks, the larger loom blocks that are on the Christopher Ward. Anyway, I definitely have to do this. But is it a Monta prestige level? Says Tim with a passive-aggressive jab at the watch industry, not me directly. Let's see. Does he sell straps separately? Yes. Jack Mason probably will sell the strap separately. Maybe. Just tell him I sent you and that you want to buy the strap. The Ward is technically better. The Mason is subjectively. You just ruined the whole video, Will. You literally just ruined the whole comparison video that I was going to do. I'm going to call and cancel my order with Ward. The Ward is technically better. The Mason is subjectively better. That's going to be the title of the video. So, like, ultimately, and I'll further ruin the video, if for some reason in your monkey brain you've discovered that there's two watches that you really absolutely love and they're both awesome, and why wouldn't you just buy both of them? Why wouldn't you just, and I'll explain why I say that. You would buy both of them because you literally just eliminated like thousands of other watches and you've reduced your desire for a watch down to 2 watches out of thousands. Do you know how insane that is that you've been able to accomplish that? Why wouldn't you just buy both of them? So that's why I want to do this comparison, mostly, is because I think these 2 watches will get compared, even though that they probably shouldn't. They are at 2 different price points. They're close, but percent-wise, the Jack Mason offers a better value for the price, but the Christopher Ward brings some elements to it that the Jack Mason is not giving you. A bracelet for one of them. The Jack Mason does not come with a bracelet. Currently, I may or may not have heard Peter say that there will most likely positively be a bracelet for that. Also some other things that I'm probably not allowed to say, but I could say if I had more time, but we're almost out of time. That is one downside to deploying the logic that I think you should always not probably listen to some of the things I suggest you guys do. Yeah, that thinking is how I ended up with over 70 watches in my main rotation, because you do it in twos, right? And then you do that, 35 times, and then you have 70 watches because you were just like, well, I've reduced it down. I really like these 2. I'm just going to buy both of them. So that happens. I think there's some bias going on here. I think there's bias. Jack Mason is a U.S. brand. And they're doing some really cool stuff. They're doing some really, really cool stuff. And I'm super stoked about the future of the brand. And that's why when it was mentioned on the website about something about buying into the brand essentially some way, yeah, I'm in. Because I'm speaking with my hard-earned dollars. I'm speaking with my actions, and I'm trying to show you guys that. Like, that's why I want to support the U.S. brands and more USA-made stuff. I have a Weiss watch on order. I have a Vortic on order. I own the Colorado watch. I've done the pre-order on the Seal Instruments out in Arizona, and I support Jack Mason and Notice where they're assembling them in the U.S. All of those brands, and there's many others, and I'm going to show you those. And there's probably less of a difference than you think from a brand that is telling you or selling you the romance of these components are made in the USA, which maybe some are, or they're doing the best they can with it, versus a brand that is operating and the money stays in the USA even though they source parts. Sometimes sourcing parts gives you a better product. That's the gist of it that I've learned. Made and assembled in the US are totally different. Yes, made and assembled, designed, all that stuff. All that stuff means different things. I don't know that we'll ever see a mass-produced, affordable, made in the USA watch. Because when you say made in the USA, that's a very difficult thing to accomplish in our current ethos of the watch community. Yeah, and Paul's, got some great Texas brands down there. Dufresne's assembling them in Texas. And they're doing a great job too. I've worked with them in the past. I haven't worked with a lot of these brands in a long time, and I think it's just they get busy, I get busy. How good are they? They're great. They're offering great watches at a great price. So, and then there's the regional connections. Like Paul's he's from Texas, so he's going to be very much connected and tapped into the Texas brands. Which, when you really think about it, I think Texas has some of the most best brands. Is that proper English? If it's not, YZ8 will fix it for me. He'll rearrange the words and make it work. But yeah, I think there's a lot going on in Texas. So Elgin watch days are gone. USA. Dreyfus? Dryden and Raven here in the Heartland. Dryden and Raven. Yeah, Dryden. It says Dreyfus, but listen, post-production, Chris, YZ80, he'll clean up all this. It'll be all fixed up. Don't forget Weiss. I've ordered the Weiss. Dryden is assembled in KC. That's Kansas City. Fedora wants a Weiss. And he has the smaller ones now, too, so I think those would work for you. I know you prefer the smaller watches. When I get my 42, if you haven't tried one, you'll try it, and it looks big on my wrist, so like it's not for smaller wrists for sure. I have heard of Maine watches. Yes. Let's see. Chris YZ8 is a fixer in the group. Yes. Among other things, is also can belt a tune. Karaoke tonight. Yeah, we're gonna close with some karaoke. So if you guys have any suggestions for songs, that would be great. I did not lose my voice because I did not sing. I lip synced. There's already singing on there on the songs. Fooled you. It did the words and it looked like I was singing. Didn't. That's why it sounded better. Paul says, damn right, Texas Pride, buy your Jack Mason today. Well, I'm not going to buy it today. I got to get a hold of Peter, and he's traveling and all that stuff. So let's see. Is Wise putting their in-house movement in smaller watches now, or are they still the reassembled Solita movements? Do they have an in-house? I don't think they have an in-house movement, do they? They have a movement that they've like built most of the components for, but that's, I think, too big. I don't know. Well, there is. They can make a lot of the thing with Weiss, and Cameron has showed this on video, and I want to get down to his facility, but he's capable. You got to think about this. He's capable of making pretty much 99% of the watch. He has the ability and the equipment to produce a watch in the USA. Like 99% of it. So, but that's not always, you can't always just do that. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to do that. So, because of the failure rates on some of those parts, like just because you can do it doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to work out. And then you can't have like a massive failure rate because you're like, I did it, I made this. That's why you go to the dealership and you buy. Nah, that's a bad comparison. Anyway, we are like 30 seconds from shutting this off, so I think I rambled long enough. Is there any last minute questions? Because I already went an hour and I thought I was going to go like 5 minutes like normal. So let's see. That ain't a karaoke bar. I'm trying to read some comments here. We worked with what we had. Loom it up. I do have some new coins Marathon is a full loomed out one, so I can loom that. I will give you that loom. I don't have any other like loomy things here because I haven't even unpacked like watches and stuff, but I can show you. Bam! That's not helpful. That is not. You know why? Because the light from the screen, it's just dark. Actually, that looks kind of cool with the lights in the back and stuff. Somebody should explain to me how to do live streams or YouTube in general, because I'm still working on it. And I crossed over 99,000 subscribers. So you know what that means? We're almost there. Almost to 100,000 subscribers. And I have some watches to give away. And I literally solicited no other brand at District Time to help the channel by donating a watch to do for the 100,000 subscriber giveaway. That's why I need more unpaid interns. I should have done a better job at that. On that note, I'll see you guys on the next video. I post a video every day. So thanks for joining me on this live stream, and I'll see you on the next one.